What's good, guys? We got YCS Pittsburgh coming up in 2 weeks, so this is going to be a hand trap tier list for that event. This is going to be a tier list that I'm kind of basing my deck building around, like what I have in mind for what hand traps I think are the best right now. And yeah, so I'm going to put this together for you guys so that I can kind of share how I feel about every hand trap in the format right now. And then I'm going to kind of build my deck based around that. Now, hand traps are kind of funny here because, well, first of all, we don't even know if it's going to be a hand trap or breaker format, because I think breakers are going to be a little bit more popular now that all of the FTK enablers are gone. But I feel like every event we go into, we're like, oh man, this is going to be the event for breakers, and it's never the event for breakers. So I think hand traps are still going to be dominant here. So it's important to figure out which ones are going to be the best, right? But at the same time, it also kind of depends on what deck you're playing, because if, I'm probably playing Draco Tail this event, and therefore the hand traps that I want to play with Draco Tail are going to be different than the ones you might want to play with Yummy or side with Yummy or anything like that. So you kind of gotta, like, you can adjust this list a little bit based on whatever you're playing, but I'm going to try to make it as generic as possible. And that's why my top tier is must main if you can. Like, for example, Impulse is going to be in here. Not everyone can play Impulse, whatever, you know the drill by now. And then also, like, which ones are good in your side deck are going to vary based on what deck you're on. Some are going to be better in a side than others. So yeah, let's go ahead and go on through, talk through this, and see how it's going. Okay. All right, so let's start with the must main if you can. These are going to be like your kind of obvious ones. First, we have Ash Blossom. So Ash is going to be in the main for basically everybody. First of all, it counters Fualos, which is also in the must main if you can. We already know this. But for Ash, you have to play it into the Mitsu deck, because it's one of the only hand traps that actually stops Mitsu. For example, if they go Habakiri, send Saji effect to search a spell, you Ash that. It's like the only chance you have of stopping their turn. Or if they use pre-prep, you can Ash the pre-prep. That'll keep them off of a lot of advantage. Ashing Yummy is like decent into the Yummy Cupsiway Synchro. And then we have Ash into Draco Tail is fantastic. Hitting Ketu, Rahu, or any of the traps is going to be really good. And now that K9 is kind of fallen out of the meta, I think, a little bit, it's not going to be, like, Ash is pretty meh into K9, so I don't think you're going to have to deal with that. And then also we might see Branded be very popular this next event. So Ash, of course, we already know into Branded is going to be excellent. Fualos is going to be great into all the decks. The only one it's not really good into is pure Mitsurugi, which will be popular, I bet. It's like whatever into Draco Tail, but you're for sure going to get your drawback against Mitsu. Not always, but if they want to go full combo, you'll get one, because they'll have to summon from deck with Mitsu Ritual unless they draw all of their Ritual guys. But yeah, Fualos, yeah, I don't gotta explain it. Okay, so alongside these in must main if you can, we're gonna put the Dominus, the good Dominus cards in. Where do we have Impulse? Yeah, if you're playing an Impulse deck, you gotta play Impulse. It's very good against all of the decks. And then also, I'm going to say Purge as well. If you're playing a deck that can play Purge, not a whole lot of decks are doing that, because most Yummy variants are playing Mitsurugi now, so you can't play either of the two Dominus cards here. But for the similar reasons as Ash, like purging Ketu or purging the Cupsy or purging the pre-prep or Saji, they're all going to be very good and very high impact stops. So yeah, we're definitely going to want to be playing those guys. Okay, alongside these must main if you can, I would say Shifter is probably back there now, just because of how combo oriented these Yummy decks have become. Like, Shifter will really shut them off of a lot of stuff. So yeah, I don't know, it's the same. Shifter is devastating for Draco Tail as well, so if you can play a Shifter deck, go ahead and play your Shifter. But yeah, and then also, let's see, must main if you can, I'm not sure there's any other cards that go into this category. There's a lot of very good cards that are going to go in strong main option. We'll do that next. We'll start off with Droll and Lockbird. So I think Droll is a strong main option. I don't think it's a must main if you can necessarily, just because it's really bad into Draco Tail, which I think is going to be one of the top 3 decks of the tournament, alongside Mitsu Yummy and Pure Mitsu. So like in 1/3 of your matchups, it's dead. And then against like Pure Yummy, it's like not great either. So I don't know. I think it's more of a very strong side option as well. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna define these tiers. Maybe I'll like say strong main or side option like this, and then we'll just get rid of this tier. Okay. Yeah, I think that's better. Like, you can either main it or side it, but it's going to be really good. Magnemite goes here too. It's much better in Draco Tail than in any other deck because you can search engine with it, of course. So, yeah, if you're playing Draco Tail, I would say it's a must main. But if you're not, it's a strong option. Yeah, just because it hits Mitsu really well and it's live into Yummy at least. It's not really live in the Draco Tail, like you're not going to get any value from that. But you can still summon it and search your engine. So if you're playing Draco Tail, it's up here. If you're playing anything else, it's like here or here, to be honest. And it's really just going to be strong for anyone playing the Mitsurugi package. The next one for strong main side option, it's going to be Moltrami Meowls, okay? Meowls, I think, is really good. Right now, it's very strong into Yummy and Mitsu Yummy, which are going to be running all over the place. However, it's pretty bad into Draco Tail. Actually, it's really bad. The only thing into Draco Tail I could possibly even hit is like if they're playing Cross Sheep or something, but basically dead. So you have to decide like, hey, do I want to main this card and just accept that it's dead against Draco? Or, and it's kind of like the same situation as Droll. Like, all this stuff that Droll is good against, Meowls is also good against. And same that they're both bad into Draco Tail. So, kind of depends on how you're prioritizing your matchups here as well. Okay, other ones that are in this category, I'm going to say Nibiru. I think a lot of people are kind of down on Nibiru, but I think it's really good. A lot of Yummy players are just not respecting this card at all, so you can like nib them for life savings and be just fine. Also, the point to nib them is very clear. So yeah, and then even Draco Tail players are not expecting this to be in against them. So if you're going first against Draco Tail, I like to keep my Nibirus in because Draco Tail will probably summon more than 5 times to try to break a board. You know, they'll normal summon, fusion summon a few times, especially if they're on the branded version. That'll add like 2 summons right there. Yeah, I think a lot of times Draco Tail will play into this nib, and it's not a terrible card to leave in when you're going first. If you're going second against Draco Tail, I think nib's pretty bad. I would side it out, but because more than likely they're only summoning 3-4 times on Draco Tail's first turn, right? Okay, moving on. I'm going to put Phantasma here. I really am a fan of Phantasma right now. It's live against most decks. Even against Draco Tail decks, a lot of them are still link summoning. You know, but now that branded Draco Tail is a prime choice, sometimes you don't link summon necessarily. So, yeah, I'm not saying like put it in against Draco, but even if you wanted to main this card, I don't think it's that bad. I really don't. But I think it's not as good. Like Fua and Meowls are going to be better, and then Perulia is going to be pretty strong as well. I think that all 3 of these Charmy cards are going to be like decent, but Perulia is definitely taking a back seat now that Vanquish Soul's fallen off, K9's fallen off a bit, and you're kind of just sitting with you know, the Yummy, Mitsu, and Draco Tail matchups. They'll summon like a couple times. They'll give you like 1 to 2 draws if you Perulia them, but it's not gonna like end their turn or anything like that. But yeah, I still think it's really valuable. Okay, so the next really strong ones, these are gonna be Actually, I'm gonna add a tier back in here. I'm gonna add like strong side only, because I want to differentiate. Like, you can main or side droll, but like there are some cards like the Cyframes that should be side deck only. And not every deck is going to be siding these either. Like, I think these are far more popular in Yummy side decks than they are in Dracotail side decks. So yeah, I think that Delta and Gamma are both very good right now. So I am in full favor of siding those if you are feeling that it fits your deck. But yeah, I don't know. All right. Oh, I missed one in the strong main / side option. It's gonna be Ghost Bell. I think Bell is gonna be like around here, like around the same utility and level as Nib. The thing is that Bell is like lower impact than Nibiru, but it's more widely applicable because it can also hit Dracotail really well as well, because you can bell the traps, right? So you can also bell pre-prep. You can bell the Yummy Synchro Tagouts. You can bell Mitsurugi Mirror. You can bell the Dracotail Traps. You can bell Urgula Effect to add back, which actually comes up sometimes. So I think Bell's very versatile, and for that reason you have to consider maining it or siding it. It's going to be in most people's main or side decks this event, I'm guessing, just because of its versatility. Other ones for strong side only, Ryzeal C is going to be very good, strong option against the Dracotail matchup. There's not a whole lot of hand traps specifically focused on Dracotail, but you're looking at them right here in this section. It's going to be the Cyframe Delta, and it's also going to be the Retaliating C to stop whatever that the Dracotail player is trying to do. But yeah, other than that, it's like whatever against other decks. It's also kind of funny, like in the Dracotail Mirror, you can't really use it either. So yeah, I don't know. I think if you're a Dracotail player, you need to have a plan for Retaliating C, or a plan for like how to play through it or play around it or whatever. But if you are like playing other decks, you're probably not going to see Retaliating C sided in against you. Okay, moving on to a couple other hand traps here. So a lot of the usual suspects are not really that strong in my opinion in this format. For example, Impermanent Veiler. Like, I'm not really impressed by these cards. Basically because most decks can dodge these cards. We have Imperm and Veiler on against Mitsurugi are pretty bad. Impermanent Veiler against the Yummy deck are pretty bad as well. Like, your best target is if they start Cupsy and you can hit it, that's great. But once they establish the Snatchy on the board, they can dodge Impermanent Veiler. And then against Dracotail, it's also pretty dubious, because if they have 5 mana, they can dodge it as well. But Impermanent Veiler on the Arthalion effect to add back once they've gotten rid of all their materials is going to be pretty strong if it resolves. So it's a sleeper pick into Dracotail a little bit, because, you know, if you can just stop them from getting all the material, you stop the grind game. But also you run the risk of them dodging it, or setting up ways to dodge it, like normal summon Cartesia and then fuse a different way into Arthalion, and that way they can chain Cartesia to fuse off the Arthalion to dodge Impermanent Veiler. So I don't know, it's pretty low impact and it's pretty low chance of success. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna put Lancea in the fine, I guess, as a side deck option, if that makes sense. I think Maliss is gonna be more popular than it has been in the last few events, so we can look into siding Lancea if you're worried about that. But I think siding Meowls is gonna hit more stuff and have similar effect, and also Perulia. So I think all of the Charmies hit Maliss really well. Now that they're going to have to play from their hand a lot more without Splash Mage, you're going to have to rely on the Ignister cards. You're going to get a lot of Perulia value, a lot of Meowls value, which you're already getting, but also like Lancea is not like super necessary, and there's no other decks that this card is really hitting right now. So yeah, I don't know. Lancea is fine. Contact C, I don't think it's worthwhile. There's ways to out it pretty easily, so I wouldn't even bother. Now we have DD Crow. It's like, it's okay, but I don't know. I would really hate to use DD Crow against Mitsu. Bystial's just better against Draco Tail. You're trading down. Like, your opponent's getting value from the card in their grave, and then you're gonna Crow and give them another card out of your hand. It's bad. And against Yummy, it's pretty crap also. Ogre, not good right now. Not really worth playing this card ever. In this format, like, it's bad into Draco Tail, bad into Mitsu, bad into Yummy. Pretty, like, I don't see a point. Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, I'll put in fine, I guess. Like, you can Reaper away Snatchies, that's pretty good. You can Reaper away Arthalion, that's decent. It can be recycled with the Draco Tail traps, but you do buy a turn, so that's nice. And then also, let's see, against Mitsu, it's awful. So yeah, there's some value, but it's not gonna win you the game on the spot necessarily. Izuna, okay, I think Izuna can go here, but you have to be playing a deck that really supports the K9 stuff, obviously. I think HANDTRAPS will be popular, so Izuna will be live, but I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. I think it's like at the bottom of this tier. I wouldn't side deck it. Okay, so it's between like here and here. I'll put it there, that's fine. Rescue Ace Impulse, I don't think it's that great. I don't know why you would play this card over like a Charmy. So I'm gonna say no, it's not worth the brick. Songs the Dominator, like if Imperm is here, Songs can go here as well. But like I don't know what decks are playing that card either. Like Pure Yummy, the trap, the Breaker Trap Pure Yummy deck is the only deck that I know that would play this card, so I don't know. I don't see value. And then what is this? Dominus Spiral, not good. I don't see value in this right now either. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up my tier list. Can you guys see all this? Yeah. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up the HANDTRAPS that I would recommend for the coming format for YCS Pittsburgh, coming up on November 8th. All right. If you have any questions or comments below or thoughts on how I set this tier list up, you go ahead and put that in the comments and I'll try to answer those. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed, and with that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.